local certificate. NACA endorses the local certificates to avoid the situation whereby institutions monetize some of the qualification for people who have not undergone the training. So this is one way of controlling how the certification, and then these are the institutions listed on table 7, and the number of male candidates, female candidates shown. Development of standards and portfolios for new standards. Anytime we develop training standards, we have to develop assessment portfolios that assessors will use to determine the level of competencies, and where also curricula are reviewed, standards are reviewed, then the portfolios also must be reviewed. So the table 8 shows the printed, revised, and the new portfolios for assessment. Training of assessors, this is a major challenge, as people are not keen in taking up that responsibility because of the amount involved in it. Generally, these are professionals who earn daily, and then what we normally pay, we are not a profit-making institution, but what we pay, they said that is not attractive, so we are trying to improve it to attract them, because assessors must come from the industry because they know what is expected of the candidates. But encouraging classroom teachers to assess their students also can give a wrong picture because they don't have the industry experience. People must be allowed to teach, but industry experts must be allowed to assess so as to get a fair idea of the competencies of the candidates. Apprenticeship and Industrial Attachment Unit. Internship is a program wherein employers provide graduates and trainees training opportunities for practical experience in an occupation or profession to apply learned skills in the world of work and in industrial settings. The internship program also helps interns to determine if they have interest in a particular career and to create a network. But Mr. Chairman, it's very challenging because the industry is not that much developed to give the necessary industry support to all the training programs. And at times when we send people, they perform different tasks that have nothing to do with their field of studies. So the effectiveness of this internship is really questioned. Recommendation: linking internship program with priority skills. Efforts should be made to ensure that graduates students in skill areas related to the skills program are given priority to the internship. Institutions that are public institutions, private, and NGOs operating in private priority sectors need to be specifically engaged to increase their take-up of interns. And one also challenge is availability of vehicles for monitoring interns. Improve after placement services. Qualification verification and equivalent unit is the unit that has been created to benchmark foreign qualifications that come to the Gambia. And accreditation review, status of education and training providers. Figure 6 of page 25 shows that valid registration and accreditation license, you have 46%, expired as of 2020, 8%, renewal of registration and accreditation license 38%, registered only 8%. Now, status of trainers. Trainers with valid license by gender, we have 85% male trainers and 15% female, a total of 223 that we have issued license. Majority of the trainers with valid license were Gambians, representing 84%, and non-Gambians constituted 16% as per this figure 3. For assessors, 77% were male and then 23% female. Quality audit. The authority conducts periodic quality audit visit to education and training institutions with the ultimate aim of providing opportunity for improvement for the management of the said institution. This assists their compliance with the prescribed minimum national standards. 90 tertiary institutions offering education and training programs were supposed to be quality audited. out of 88 representing 98% of the institutions across were audited. Now, the status of registered education institutions listed in the on table 11. University of the Gambia is registered by virtue of the establishment by an act of parliament. If you are established by an act of parliament, you don't go through registration system. You do go through program accreditation. International Open University also was registered, and then the license is valid up to April 28 April 2022. Legacy University, at that time, provisional license expired, and the institution failed to implement the corrective actions, so we have suspended their license. We have withdrawn the license, so they are not operating. American International University, the renewal of registration was ongoing at that time. Research and development. One of the main functions of the authority is to periodically conduct labor market research studies to inform training standards and curriculum development within the post-secondary education and training subsector. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, which halted a series of planned activities, the authority was able to implement the following: the completion of the curriculum need assessment survey funded through UNESCO by the Korean International Cooperation Agency, KOICA, development of the proposed Gambian standard classification of occupation and field of education, finalization of the Gambian National Qualification Framework, and implementation of the Memoranda of Understanding activities with the International Trade Center through the Youth Empowerment Project in the Gambia. The recommendation from survey: Gambia government should strengthen the budgetary allocation to public TVET institutions so as to enable them procure the necessary resources for teaching and learning to effectively deploy tertiary curriculum. Public TVET institutions lack adequate teaching and learning resources for the effective deployment of the curriculum. It is therefore recommended that government considers strengthening the resource base of this institution. NACA should conduct training in curriculum development, curriculum analysis, and deployment for education and training providers. This will help institutions develop competency-based training that will be aligned to the labor market requirements. NACA should collaborate with other stakeholders and periodically organize short-term training workshops on pedagogy or andragogy and assessment competencies for trainers in TVET institutions to ensure teaching strategies are learner-centered. 4 assessment methods such as diagnostic, formative, summative should be part of all TVET curricula. The tertiary and higher education stakeholders should organize periodic national skills competition to gauge effectiveness of TVET and also support outstanding performance with seed money to venture into entrepreneurship. NACA should ensure, as part of the registration and accreditation process, tertiary and education curriculum include adequate competence in problem solving, creativity, entrepreneurship, mentoring, negotiation, planning, organization, coordination, critical thinking, interpersonal relationship, communication, and research. A methodological guideline for the development and analysis of curriculum should be developed by NACA in consultation with the industry. It is encouraged that the Youth Empowerment Project through TVET projects continues to collaborate with NACA to review and implement the national TVET curriculum in the field of carpentry and joinery, hairdressing and beauty, therapy, plumbing and pipe fitting, catering, welding and fabrication, automotive, electrical, electronics, and structural engineering, web application development, social work, teaching pedagogy or andragogy, health and nutrition, etc. NACA educational institution development partners and stakeholders in the education sector, with the support of the funding partners, should explore industry participation as an intervention strategy to enhance quality delivery of TVET in the Gambia. In addition, a robust advocacy strategy should be developed for promotion of TVET. And we have page 31, 32, the proposed classification of occupation per field. and also the Gambia National Qualification Framework on 33 and 34. Page 35, we have the levels in the Gambia National Qualification Framework, and also the pathways, how to navigate from one system to another. And then the rest is annexed. On that note, Mr. Chairman, I wish to thank you for giving me the chance to present.
Thank you very much. Now we can go to the Finance Director.
Thank you very much, Chairman and members of the House. I will present the financial statement, and this will be in 4 basic components. First, I will deal with the balance sheet, and then we will go to the income statement, and then we will look at the cash flow, and then the statement of changes in the accumulated fund. But to start with the balance sheet, as of 31st December 2020, the total non-current account of the authority stood at almost about 39.9 million. This compared to the corresponding year, that is a year before, 2019, was 40.8 million. If you look at the total current asset of the authority as of end of year 2020 was 34.1 million compared to the previous year, which was 27.8 million. The total accumulated funds of the authority as of end of year 2020 was 72.8 million compared to 67.9 million in the previous year. So that is the summary of the balance sheet. But to end with the balance sheet, as of end of year 2020, total accumulated funds and liabilities of the authority was 73.9 million compared to last year when it was 68.6 million. So that is the presentation of the balance sheet. If we go to the income statement, the total income that was accrued to the authority as of 31st December 2020 was 32.6 million. This compared to 2019, it was around 32.5 million. So almost similar level of income. The total expenditure of the authority for it to run its function as of 31st of December 2020 was 27.7 million compared to last year when it was 27.6 million. And then we registered a surplus of almost about 4.9 million as of 31st December 2020. And it was also a similar figure also in 2019. That leads us to the cash flow, which shows how the authority generates its cash and the cash balance as of end of the year. If you look at the cash flow from operating activities of the authority as of 31st December 2020, it was around 8.6 million compared to 11.6 million the previous year. If you look at the total cash from investing activities of the authority for 2020 as of December, it was 2.4 million compared to a negative cash flow of 15.6 million as of end of December 2019. Total cash flow or total cash and cash equivalent of the authority as of end of the year was 17.5 million compared to 6.5 million as of end of December 2019. That leads us to the statement of changes in the accumulated funds since the inception of the authority. As of 31st December 2020, the accumulated cash flow, accumulated funds of the authority was 67.9 million, And then we registered a profit of, or a surplus of 4.9. So as of 31st December 2020, the accumulated surplus of the entity was 72.7 million. So this is the financial statement of the authority over the past year, which is the year we are reporting, which is 2020.
Thank you very much. Can now go to the external auditor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Please refer to page 6 of the financial statements. Auditor's opinion. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, NACA, which comprises of the balance sheet, the income statement, the cash flow statement, and the statement of changes in accumulated fund, and notes to the financial statements, including accounting policies applicable to the authority. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and a fair view of the financial position of the authority as at 31st of December 2020, and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended, and has been prepared in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and adhering to the requirements of the NACA Act 2015. This was signed by Augustus Prom, 29th of December 2021. So, Honorable Chairs, for the management letter, I guess it's just the usual summary, just to run through it. Yeah. Page 4.1, fuel management observations. A, fuel stock opening balance difference. We noted a difference of 16,550 between the last year closing balance and the balance in the opening register. B, posting errors in the fuel register. During our review on the manual register, we noted the following November fuel issues were posted in the fuel register for the month of October 2020 as follows. Furthermore, we noted the following transactions in the month of October 2020 in the electronic register, but they were not posted for November 2020. C, generator and vehicle utility logbook. We requested for a utility vehicle logbook, but it was confirmed that this was not available in 2020. Page 6.2, staff loan application process observation. During our review on the staff loan request process, we noted that the current process involves the applicant writing to senior management, and then the approvals and computations are minuted on the application letter. We noted that there is no standard loan application form utilized by the authority in line with recommended practice for staff loan applications. Point 3, page 7, withholding tax certificates observation. Pursuant to Section 97 of the Income and Value Tax Added Tax Act 2012, amended 2018, a person withholding tax under this subpart shall furnish to the recipient of the payment a withholding tax certificate. During our review on the withholding tax, we noted taxes being withheld, but the withholding certificates were not issued to the service providers upon deduction in line with the recommended withholding tax process. Page 8.4, internal audit observations. A, risk register. We requested for a risk register of the authority, but this was not provided upon request. And B, implementation timelines. Upon our review on the unit's reports, we noted that there is no stated timeline to implement the internal audit findings and associated recommendation by the personnel responding to ensure timely implementation on internal audit issues. And the rest is just the implementation status of previous period audit findings.
I think that has brought us to the end of the presentation of the financial statements and the activity report of NACA for the year 2020. Going by our schedule, you're supposed to appear tomorrow for the consideration of the report just presented. I guess it's still in the afternoon. Yeah. So we look forward to see you tomorrow for the consideration of the report 2020, both the activity and the financial statements. Honorable colleagues, do you have anything? That is soft copy of both. Okay. Any other issue? Okay. In the absence of no other issue, can somebody move that we adjourn the sitting until tomorrow, 10 a.m.? It has been moved and seconded that the sitting stands adjourned until tomorrow, 10 a.m. Those in favor, please say aye. And those not in favor, please say no. The 10 a.m. is not meant for Naga. Yeah, another institution, okay. Thank you. The meeting stands adjourned until tomorrow.